Path Media. I was a minimum wage movie theater usher that made good and became a top earner in my network marketing company. Now, after 16 plus years in the profession, I'm finally teaching myself how to leverage the internet with online marketing and social media marketing to continue to grow and expand my business. My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today is episode 199. That's right, 199, and we're going to talk about leaving it all out on the dance floor. That's right, leaving it all out on the dance floor. Now, I know that sounds like a weird title for a marketing and mindset podcast. However, I'll explain its pertinence and why it's on my mind. The fact that it's 199, I just want to kind of highlight that for a second before we dive in. It's the final episode of Path of the Network Marketer. It's officially the last episode. So that's part of why I'm leaving it all out on the dance floor, right? Right. This is the end of an era. For those of you who who have been listening and subscribed to the show, you'll know that tomorrow at episode 200, we're going to be switching over to the new branding, the new look. It's going to be called I can't let go of that name. It's actually going to be called the Redefined Podcast, right? Redefined Podcast, new cover, new title. If you're already subscribed, you don't have to do anything different. Now, if you're brand new, if this is the first time you're listening to the show or watching the video, understand that if you subscribe today and you see it tomorrow, you see a completely different title, a completely different artwork. It's the same podcast. It's the same podcast. It's just rebranded. And I wanted to do that because I wanted to expand. I wanted to open up more. You know, the title Path of the Network Marketer, as much as I love it, was pretty narrow in terms of, you know, the audiences that it's attracting. And I realized at about 150, 160 episodes that we're having so many more conversations beyond just network marketing. And so that's one of the reasons why I wanted to redefine the show. I wanted to expand it to more people because the content is, I think, pertinent to everybody, and I wanted to make it more available to everybody. So that's happening tomorrow, and today is just a celebration of Path of the Network Marketer. So we're going to leave it all on the dance floor. Now, this saying is amazing. I love this saying because I used to go to dance clubs a lot. I love dancing. Not that I'm any good. Like, I'm actually really a bad dancer. However, I just love to dance, right? I love the feeling of music and of just letting go and movement, right? And this was without a care, right? Like, I wasn't necessarily dancing with people. I didn't care what anybody else thought about my dancing. I was just in my old world, enjoying enjoying movement, enjoying music, and I would leave it all out on the dance floor, right? And that's what the saying is, as opposed to stepping out into a space and being very reserved, holding back, being guarded, being nervous, you know what I mean, being self-conscious, and then you know, taking it home with you. That's not leaving it all on the dance floor, right? Leaving it all on the dance floor is means going all out without care, without reservation. And so I love that. I love that freeness. I love that, like, all-in mentality, because it applies to pretty much everything, especially in entrepreneurism and business, success mindset, high performance. You know, we always talk about going all in, like really, really going all in to achieving the things that you want to achieve. And so in the conversation of content, that applies to your content itself, right? Leave it all out on the dance floor. I get this question a lot. It's like, okay, so what do I talk about, and how do I balance between giving away content for free and the stuff that I want to sell, right? Creating the products that end up going to be my paid products, right? What's the line? What's the balance between giving it all away and saving some for the paid stuff? Now, I've talked about this a little bit in the past, in that you're a wellspring of ideas and inspiration, right? So you never have to worry about running out of ideas. And in fact, I'll talk about my own process in a future episode, how I'm just, I'm thinking of ideas left and right, and that I have a pool of ideas that I can just riff on. Today, I want to really focus more on just the willingness to give for free, right? I think at the root of it, if you're worried about that balance, the principle I want to leave you with is just serve, right? Serve. Make sure that you're giving your listeners or your audience as much information as you can that can help them, whether they buy from you or not. And to me, that means leaving it all out on the dance floor, right? Even if it's a free course or master class that you have to register for, I put a lot into those things. A couple of weeks ago, many of you know, I just did my first master class, the influencer master class. That was a 3-day master class. Right? It was a 3-day. I can't even remember. Yeah, it was a 3-day, 3-day masterclass, about a little bit over an hour a day, and it was all for free. And I left it all out on the dance floor because I wanted to make sure I provided value. Right? I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just selling something. That I wanted to make sure that people who, again, couldn't or aren't ready to buy from me yet got value out of the content that I was giving, and that they could use that content to better improve their processes, their marketing, their lives, right, their mindsets. If all your content is just marketing, then it's going to be really, really empty. And I think, from an audience standpoint, I'm not going to tune into you because you're not providing me value up front. And it's not that, I'm expecting free value all the time. It's just that I'm not going to get to know you. Well, it's impossible to get to know you if everything is behind a paywall. Right. I think, if you have the mindset and you flip it around, allow people to get to know you and allow people to see the tremendous amount of value that you offer by leaving it all out on the dance floor. And then they'll actually be more apt to purchase from you when you release your paid programs, when you release your paid content. Right. So, I want to encourage you, and I do that here on this show, especially the fact that there's an episode every day. I got to leave everything on the dance floor. Right. There's so, I have to create and fill so much content that I got to put a lot of stuff out there. That's not to say that the paid content is going to be exactly the same as the free content. I do dive more in depth or go more in depth with the paid content for sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna provide you even more value because you're a purchasing customer, you're a buying customer. However, I'm not going to shortchange people who listen to this podcast, which is free. People who tune into my lives on Facebook, which is free, and all the other free content that I have out there. So I leave it all out on the dance floor. And I'm never worried about giving away, running out of stuff to talk about, or repeating myself in the paid course. I was currently tuning into Amy Porterfield's email list building course. A tremendous amount of value. I mean, it's such a cheap course, and it's crazy the amount of information that Amy Porterfield is giving away. But she says this, says exactly this in that training, and she says this on all her stuff. Don't worry about giving stuff away for free or having content kind of cross over on your different platforms. With your free content, give away as much value as you can, and because in the paid content you're going to go in depth, right? You're going to dive deeper into those things, but still provide as much value as you possibly can in the free content. Leave it all out on the dance floor. That's what I like to do, and I'll continue to do that as we transition into the Redefined podcast, right? The Redefined podcast. So really exciting. Again, the end of an era for this particular name. It's just the title and aesthetics, and I think it'll open up the conversation to more people, because this is important conversations that we're having here, right? So hopefully that makes sense. And in whatever aspect of life that you might be facing, whether it's your marketing, whether it's your business and your entrepreneurial journey, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your self-confidence, whether it's your personal development, leave it all out on the dance floor. Go all out, go all in. Life is short, really. I mean, that's really the root of it. It's too short to play small. So leave it all out on the dance floor. And that's my message for you today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you on the Redefined podcast.